Please subscribe.
No one needs an extravagance leader. Regardless of whether you disregard the way that by definition, extravagances are things individuals don't require, fair-size extravagance cars have turned out to be so expansive, it's difficult to envision any individual who drives themselves requiring more space than an Audi A6 or BMW 5 Series gives. Furthermore, for a similar cash, you commonly have the decision between a midsizer that is stacked to the gills and a base show lead. Rather, you purchase, or more probable rent, a vehicle, for example, the A8 on the grounds that you need it. It's a grown-up toy. A sign that you've made it. So hurling rationale and common sense out the window for a minute, is the 2019 Audi A8 a vehicle that makes you need it? Does it complement you and make you feel exceptional the manner in which an extravagance leader should? Judging simply on outside structure, presumably not. Regardless of the light show it plays out each time it's opened, the A8 is downplayed, nearly to the point of looking plain. A four-entryway prologue idea, this isn't. On the other hand, beside the Jaguar XJ and maybe the Maserati Quattroporte, autos in this fragment aren't typically known for their striking looks. They're more about extravagant lodges, bleeding-edge innovation, and forcing length. Regardless of whether the A8's styling isn't energizing enough for you, it just takes one look to perceive it's a vast vehicle. The US just gets the Audi A8 L, which has a 123.1-inch wheelbase and measures 208.7 inches generally. Contrasted with the A6, that is an additional 8.0 creeps of wheelbase and 14.3 crawls of by and large length. Inside, notwithstanding, it's an alternate story. On the off chance that you've seen the new A6, the format will be commonplace, yet the spotless, current structure still feels new. The wood trim on the dash that withdraws to uncover shroud and air vents is a particularly pleasant touch. In case you will purchase an A8, however, you better like piano dark plastic. It doesn't indicate fingerprints as much as you'd expect, yet it's a noteworthy piece of the structure of the dash and focus comfort. With Audi's virtual cockpit and two vast touchscreens, the middle comfort is to a great extent without handles and catches. Fortunately, Audi additionally set aside the opportunity to build up a framework that is instinctive to utilize and reacts rapidly to inputs, so the absence of catches shouldn't be an issue. Indeed, even the remote for travel is sufficiently fortunate to ride in the rearward sitting arrangement is anything but difficult to utilize. The way that Audi's high goals illustrations look extraordinary is only a reward. In the long run, the US will get a discretionary V8, however for the time being, the A8's solitary motor is a 3.0-liter turbocharged V6 making 335 horsepower and 369 pounds-to-foot of torque. Matched with an 8-speed transmission, standard all-wheel drive, and a 48-volt mellow half-and-half framework, Audi gauges the A8 L will hit 60 miles per hour in 5.6 seconds. That is not particularly fast, but rather it's still a long way from moderate. In addition, vehicles like the A8 are more about cruising in solace than hustling to the following activity light. Shockingly, the A8 handles bends really well. It's no R8, yet in dynamic mode, it's more deft than you'd expect a 17-foot, 4,700-pound extravagance car to be. Does it understeer at the point of confinement? Most likely. Yet, on the off chance that you intend to take corners quick enough to discover, full estimate extravagance vehicles presumably aren't for you. On the expressway, the A8 is stunningly peaceful, nearly keeping street, wind, and tire clamor out of the lodge completely. Include agreeable seats with an amazing back rub work, a smooth ride, an astounding Bang & Olufsen sound framework, and a 21.7-gallon gas tank, and you have a formula for a genuinely awesome excursion vehicle. With respect to the A8's eagerly awaited traffic jam pilot, a Level 3 framework equipped for dealing with most driving duties on isolated interstates at rates under 37 miles per hour, don't anticipate that it will be accessible in the US at any point in the near future. From its sound, the unpredictability of government and state controls constrained Audi to hold traffic jam pilot for years to come. The uplifting news is, a significant number of the A8's other attractive highlights are headed. The US needs to hold up until 1 year from now to get four-wheel guiding and the prescient dynamic suspension, however the two frameworks will be worth the pause. With the back wheels turning, Audi says the A8 really has a littler turning circle than the A4. The outcome is a vehicle that is observably more coordinated. The dynamic suspension, in the meantime, can raise and lower each wheel autonomously as it checks the street ahead. Not exclusively would it be able to skirt potholes, it additionally smooths out hindrances as you roll over them. Furthermore, if the framework remembers you're going to be T-boned, it can tilt up that side of the vehicle to decrease the danger of damage. Taking into account how much the four-wheel guiding framework and dynamic suspension enhance the A8, you'll need to ensure your A8 has both. Simply be set up to pay up. In spite of the fact that the 2019 A8 begins at $84,795, all-around prepared forms effectively cruise past the $100,000 stamp. With the V8, the A8's two most attractive highlights, and a couple of different choices, a $150,000 sticker price wouldn't astonish. On the other hand, in case you're searching for a vehicle that commends your prosperity, who thinks about setting aside some cash,